Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carolyn Deedle. I use she, her pronouns, and I represent Mount Holyoke College. I'm the director of our Francis Perkins program and transfer admission. And for many years, I have been visiting Greenfield Community College in person. I've had the pleasure of following the progress of many students who've studied at Greenfield, who've transferred to Mount Holyoke successfully and have gone on to do great things. And in fact, I think we have 4 or 5 new students this fall who are Francis Perkins scholars. We also have a traditional age transfer student. So there are 2 ways if you're a community college student to think about entering Mount Holyoke, and you have to decide which one is right for you. If you are a traditional age student who has recently graduated from high school and has been continuing your education at Greenfield, you can apply as a traditional transfer. You will be more than likely living on campus if you're admitted to the college, and you will be a full-time student with all of the same rights and privileges as all students at Mount Holyoke. If you are over 25, or you have a dependent, or you're a veteran of military service, you may apply for our Francis Perkins program. And the Francis Perkins program is designed for women who have interrupted their education, who have gone back to reinvigorate their educational pursuits, and who now want to finish up an undergraduate degree. And the difference between being a Francis Perkins program student, or scholar as we call them, or a traditional age transfer student is that as a FP, short for Francis Perkins, you may be either full or part-time, and you may live on our campus if you choose to. Most of our students live off campus, but we do attract a number of students from a variety of different places in the United States and from different countries as well. So in spite of the fact that there are only 75 Francis Perkins students in total, it's a very diverse community, but it's one that's very connected and very engaged and very much a part of the bigger community. In other words, it's really a community within the community at Mount Holyoke College. So it's a wonderful program. And for those of you who meet the criteria, I hope that you will contact me to explore more about what that might mean for you and how we go about all of this. I'm going to give you a little general information about Mount Holyoke, assuming that you don't know much, but I could be wrong because you live in the area and you probably are somewhat familiar with Mount Holyoke. But I'll start with this beautiful aerial view of our campus. You can see that amphitheater in the foreground and many of the buildings. We have 800 acres, so it's a really big campus. We have 2 lakes. It's a beautiful campus, and we have 2,100 undergraduate students. So as I just said, this little graphic orients you to where we are in relationship to Boston and New York, but you already know where we all are together, somewhat in the same area called the Pioneer Valley. And as I said, we have 700 campus acres, 2 lakes, 45 miles of trails. We have very easy access to the 5 colleges. And of course, there's a consortium that I'll talk about a little bit more in detail later on. And we have an abundant intellectual, cultural, social, and outdoor set of opportunities for students, as well as a dynamic music and arts scene in the area. So Mount Holyoke is the first women's college, and it was founded in 1837. And it was a very bold thing for Mary Lyon, our founder, to think about providing those kinds of opportunity for women who had never been allowed to go to college. And her legacy lives on, and the traditions at Mount Holyoke are strong. And there's something very special about attending a women's college, because it's not about equal opportunity, it's about every opportunity. We offer opportunities for sustained leadership development. It's a front row learning experience. You're going to be in small classes. You're going to be expected to contribute your voice to those classes. There's a wonderful, vibrant social life that's not by choice, defined by any choice or norms. And there are very powerful outcomes for our graduates, and an extensive alumni network, which no one should underestimate in terms of how it may impact your life. The students at Mount Holyoke, well, this is pretty clear. We think of them as intellectually curious, inclusive, collaborative, cognizant of the common good. They are global thinkers because it's a global community, and they really do learn from one another. We pride ourselves on community and inclusion. We're intentionally diverse. We spend a lot of time really thinking about that. We have 28% of our students are actually international students, 27% of our domestic students of color, 68% of our faculty are multilingual, and nearly all states and 83 countries are represented in our student body currently. We offer 6 cultural centers on our beautiful campus, And we have a special programming now in place to support our first generation low income students. It's a very active student organization on campus. In addition, we have 150 study abroad programs, and sometimes transfer students can participate in those as well. We offer international internships and research opportunities. It's a global curriculum with scholars in residence, global challenges, conference, etc. And again, an internationally diverse student body. I think about myself having grown up in Western Mass and how lucky I am to have met students from Zimbabwe and Afghanistan and Mongolia and Romania and Brazil and Chile and Argentina, just to name a few. So it really does enhance the dynamic on our classroom to have students from all over the world. One nice feature about Mount Holyoke is something that we refer to as LINK. And LINK is our guaranteed internship program, which provides funding for all students. You can be paid up to $3,000 for a domestic experience and up to $3,600 for an international experience that would be an internship or a research opportunity that you might do potentially the summer before you graduate, or even maybe the summer before. And we're very proud that 95% of Mount Holyoke students are employed or in grad school or participating in an internship 6 months post-graduation. And 75% of our graduates actually pursue advanced study within 10 years of graduation. So you know already about the 5 colleges because you're part of the community college system, and you've probably heard a lot about the Mass Compact and the opportunities at UMass, which are wonderful. You probably know that it's Amherst, Hampshire, Smith, another women's college, and the university that comprise this very robust and well-established consortium. We have open registration, cross-registration for classes, as well as opportunities to participate in co-curricular and social gatherings. So in total, there are about 38,000 students who are attending one of these schools, 5,000 courses in any given semester, 10 beautiful museums, all within a 6-mile radius. And the best part is the free bus system that takes students from campus to campus, and that makes the whole thing work beautifully. Financial aid is something that's on the minds of anybody who's thinking about continuing their education. And we absolutely know that people can get sticker shock when they look at the published tuition and room and board fees at Mount Holyoke. I want you to know that Mount Holyoke is committed completely to providing access to qualified students. And we meet 100% of demonstrated need of the students who apply for admission with grants, loans, and work study. And one thing to know about our Francis Perkins program is that all of the admitted students, and we are limited to 25 per year, all of the admitted students who are Francis Perkins scholars are offered a full tuition scholarship. And that's a very generous commitment on the part of the college, which is all about ensuring that the voices of non-traditional students who bring a wealth of experience and a really strong focus on earning and achieving their goals to the campus, it's something that we really prize and we know enhances our community. So those scholarships are very generous and they're very competitive, but we certainly encourage you to apply and not to shy away from that just because it seems as though that might not be for me. I'm happy to talk with anybody about how we make our admission decisions and what the criteria for admission would be. So don't hesitate to be in touch with me if you have questions along those lines. So that's pretty much what I want to cover with you today. It's a very brief introduction to what I think is the high points about Mount Holyoke. Mount Holyoke is an exceptional institution, and we really encourage you to come and learn more. There are tours available. You can chat with current students. You can read a lot on the website, and you can even participate in some of our virtual events, many of which are, of course, geared towards high school seniors, but there are some that may be of interest to you. And we will be having probably a transfer event in February of this coming year. So I invite you to stay in touch, and I would really love it if you would go to our website and fill out an inquiry form. You can just find that under the admission section. There's a place to inquire about Mount Holyoke that will put your name on our mailing list, and that will mean that you will be receiving communications, invitations, and learning much more about Mount Holyoke as you think about your transfer choices. And finally, I would say we're all very lucky to live where we do. And here in Western Massachusetts, you've got a wide range of choice with respect to educational opportunities. And I think that's terrific. I encourage you to explore them all. And I hope that you will certainly seriously consider Mount Holyoke if you're eligible for applying for admission. So thanks so much.